They get everything all sorted out. It's Cincinnati basketball to open up the first quarter. Slip here to Thomas, and she takes an extra step. So Cincinnati turns it over on their first possession of the game. Arizona, the starting lineup today, once again without Nolani Cornfield and Nora Francois. They'll roll with Kitchens, Sugapong, Welch, Adebanjo, and Tremail. Tremail's an interesting and very heartwarming story. Chase will have a report on her, but she's a Cincinnati local. She's playing in front of a lot of family and friends tonight. Pull-up is good, and the first bucket of the game goes to Arizona. Adebanjo knocks it down for Cincinnati. Mentioned no Kylie Torrance, so Ramaya Bird gets the start with Perry, Jackson, DeVillisi, and Thomas.
It's going to be interesting to see what Cincinnati is really trying to get in this offense. Arizona's doing a hard hedge, which is making it hard for them to get downhill.
Pull up for Bird is off the mark, and it's last touched by Thomas out of bounds. Arizona is going to get it back. Now, Becky Burke for Arizona is in her first year. She came over from Buffalo. Everywhere she's gone, Jillian, she has won. She has turned programs around consistently since she started coaching.
It is crazy to see how quickly she has turned around these programs at that. It's already hard to turn around a program when, you didn't necessarily recruit these kids, you didn't pick these kids. But the way she has gone into every place and been able to completely flip it in 180 is really astonishing.
She hopes to do it with the Wildcats in Tucson over the next couple of years as well. Adebanjo can't finish. Sugapong tries to clean it up, but it's last touched by Sugapong. Oh, Becky Burke, she was at Buffalo for 3 years. She took over when Felicia Leggett-Jack took the Syracuse job. And in just a couple of years, she won the WNIT for a team that now with Arizona, she only returned one player from last year. She inherited a Bear cupboard with the Bison as well, or excuse me, the Buffaloes as well. Yes,
it'll be very interesting to see. She even said to us that next year is going to be the biggest turnaround in the country. So it'll be very interesting to cue in and see how that goes next year as well.
Well, she's loving the defense from her Wildcats right now. Forced Cincinnati into a deep shot clock. Bird banks it in on a bit of a scrambled defensive play at the end of it for Arizona. Sugapong all the way to the rim.
Cincinnati did not do a good job of matching up and stopping Sugapong. A player like her, you cannot allow her to get downhill in transition.
And she struggled a bit last game against West Virginia. She committed 10 turnovers, but that's what West Virginia does. It's hard to really knock Sugapong because the Mountaineers do that to pretty much everybody.
Yes, without a doubt, the Mountaineers do that to just about everyone. It's always interesting seeing how they come from West Virginia in the turnovers that game to coming to play in Fifth Third the next.
Katrina Merriweather and Cincinnati have dealt with it time and time again. They always get the Mountaineers twice throughout the course of the season due to the proximity. Coach Merriweather has had some highs. She's had some lows this season with Cincinnati. Really upset last game with the offensive efficiency that her Bearcats showed. They missed a lot of easy ones inside. Tremail knocks that down. And again, just such an awesome story that we'll talk more about as the game goes along, but a local Cincinnati kid who's getting to show out in front of her family and friends today.
I think she's definitely going to be a fun person to watch today because, like you said, she's getting to play in front of her entire family and friends in her hometown.
Rolls off the rim for DeVillisi, but an offensive rebound leads to a foul. It's going to put Destiny Thomas at the line. That's the area, Jillian, that I was just talking about that Katrina Merriweather wasn't very happy with. 22 offensive rebounds for Cincinnati last game, but they only converted it to 11 second chance points. They have to do better inside today.
They definitely have to. There's really no point in getting second chance opportunities if you don't capitalize on them. You might as well take the ball to the other end of the court.
For Cincinnati, that last game, a loss in Lawrence, Kansas against the Jayhawks. They had a valiant comeback. Point for the remainder of the 3:43. Ended up losing it 80-71.
I think those games are the toughest when you fight tooth and nail to crawl back and you can't continue it for the rest of the game to finish it.
Adding to the scrappiness aspect that we predicted coming into this game today, hoping to sustain it for 40 minutes. Adebanjo over to set the screen, hesitation, Sugapong down to the floor to keep it alive. Jackson there as well, and Reagan Jackson helps force the turnover. DeVillisi connects.
That is her game. I mean, her game really does includes so much, but just getting downhill in transition and making that decision. As a freshman, it's so hard to decide whether you pull it out, pass it, drive it all the way in, and she does such a great job of knowing when to do what with the ball.
Adebanjo gets the offensive rebound there after the Tramiel miss. Sugapong is too long, and Devilisi cannot grab it. So Arizona gets it back.
Sugapong had Crawford in the air, and Sugapong is one of those players that you don't want her to shoot the three, but you also don't want to give her that easy pull-up. That pull-up is bread and butter for her, and Crawford just fell for the pump fake.
So Sugapong has really come a long way. Coach Burke was telling us, Julie, in the first half of the year, she couldn't stay on the floor. She was undisciplined on the defensive end, picked up a whole bunch of fouls. But as the season's gone along, she's the physicality, and after the new year has really put together some great games.
Yes, the more you get experience in the Big 12 and the style of play, the more it's easier to adjust your game into what it needs, and she's obviously been able to do that now that we're in February.
Reagan Jackson earns a trip to the line here. She loves to be in that mid-range spot, get to that right hand as she did with a foul on Kitchen. One of the best free throw shooters in the Big 12, 83% on the year. Puts her in the top 10. Now that was the second foul on Cameron Kitchen. So she is subbed out. Early foul trouble, and it brings in Molly Ladwig, the freshman from Omaha.
Arizona's really trying to set a lot of screens on Cincinnati, trying to get their defense stuck. And even Katrina Merriweather said, this Cincinnati team is not good at guarding screens. No matter what type of ball screen it is, they're not good at guarding it. And Arizona is really trying to use that to their advantage.
It doesn't work out there for Adebanjo, and she gets called for the bump foul there.
The Wildcats foul is charged to Addie Adebanjo, number 14.
That's her first personal foul.
It'll be side out of bounds for the Bearcats in the front court.
There's Crawford. And a bit of a down game after she was finding her groove in the Big 12. Only scored 4 points. She dealt with some foul trouble in Kansas over the weekend. Jackson drives inside and lays it in with the left hand.
Jackson did a great job of realizing how low the shot clock was getting and trying to get it to the basket and at least get it up on the rim.
A foul called midair. Tanuel Welch is going to the free throw line.
Puts her head down and just attacks. Arizona wasn't in help defense to slide over and take that charge or even try to contest the shot.
Jackson, another one of those players that loves the mid-range. So you probably don't want to force her into that shot, but at the same time, you can't leave the basket wide open either.
She definitely loves the mid-range. I'd say her mid-range is more of a layup for her than a layup probably is for her. But doing it on both ways.
Welch splashes in the first free throw. Another great story. Recruited by Katrina Merriweather when Merriweather and her staff were at Memphis. Spent 1 year under Katrina Merriweather before she took the Cincinnati job, and now playing in Arizona. Having a nice year, 9 points, 5 rebounds, 32% from three. Coach Burke said she didn't feel like she needed to have a conversation with Welch, but just knowing the competitive nature of Tanuel Welch and just knowing the competitive nature of Becky Burke, she said, if my coach left for a different school and I wasn't asked to come along, I'd maybe want to play with a little extra motivation too.
Yeah, she definitely said she would feel a little type of way if her coach didn't bring her somewhere else. And it'll be interesting to see if she plays that way tonight.
Well, that's that mid-range step through that Reagan Jackson loves. It'll put her at the free throw line when we come back to Cincinnati.
The whole city is pulling up to the game. She went to high school 30 minutes up the road at Winton Woods and went 27-0 as a senior and won the Division II state title for the OHSAA. What a story this was, Anthony.
It really is. Thank you, Chase. And just to add a little bit to it, she's a first-generation college student. Her mom and her older sister, and there's her mom in attendance tonight, postponed some of their own lives, some of their own career and personal initiatives to help support Denaya to go to Arizona to support her college basketball dream, and now they're actually pursuing degrees at the University of Cincinnati. So it really kind of comes all together with the whole family in general. And just an awesome story for them to do that for their daughter, and now they get to pursue their own degrees as well.
Truly incredible and full circle. I'm sure tonight is just a special moment being able to play in front of her mom and her family.
Well, so far it's Cincinnati in front by 5. Reagan Jackson's had a great start to this game. She has 6 points. I think she wanted the shooting foul going into that break, but she made up for it with the jumper there. And then an offensive foul called against Magott, setting the screen. Becky Burke having to get deeper into the bench today. Magott usually only plays about 5.5 minutes, but only down to 8 players today with the 2 coaches' decisions, with Nolani Cornfield and Nora Francois unavailable, along with Michaela Perdue, who continues to nurse the wrist injury.
Fouls are definitely going to be something Arizona has to watch tonight. With only 8 they have to be a little bit more careful on defense and in their decision-making.
A foul on the floor again. It's on Tremail. That's the 5th on the Wildcats, so Cincinnati shooting free throws the rest of this first quarter. How do you balance that, Jillian? How do you, when you have only 8, maybe 7, you hope for more than that, but
right.
What's the message from the coaching staff? How do you balance as a player to stay aggressive, but also know that, hey, if a couple of us foul out, we don't have enough players to really rotate through everybody?
It's hard because it's hard to pick and choose. It always comes down to, if it works, it was a good play. If it doesn't work, it wasn't. So making sure they're still being aggressive on defense or attacking boards, but also not going for silly, dumb things that aren't needed, that won't help put them up.
You have to pick and choose your spots, basically.
Definitely.
A 1 of 2 at the line there for Joya Crawford. Crawford stays right with Sugapong, battling through the screen. But Sugapong ends up getting by her. Can't finish it. Knocked away, and Cincinnati turns it over. Welch dribbles it off her foot, and Cincinnati comes away with it.
A little bit of ping pong going on right now.
Step back for Perry. A little short. Ladwig has the rebound. Great pass inside. Adebanjo finishes through contact.
Just a great slip to the basket, over Snyder, and she was still able to finish through contact and get the and one.
Addie Adebanjo, a late add in September. After a lot of players had already committed to Becky Burke, she came in late in the process, a transfer from Yamanashi Gakuin in Japan. Before that, she was attending Japan Aviation Academy.
Wow.
I have to wonder if we are watching a future pilot here.
Right, seriously.
Tonight.
Definitely impressive.
A lot of great stories.
So many tonight.
Crawford pulls up. She got fouled midair. That's on Sugapong.
Crawford is one of those players that Katrina Merriweather even said, she just makes tough plays. She's so crafty, and tough pull-ups like that are in her game.
Coach Merriweather has said that they evaluated her and they thought that she was the best scorer to come out of Tennessee in the last cycle. She's from Dyersburg, Tennessee, and they feel she's the most offensively talented. They love her defense as well. The problem with Crawford this year, Jillian, she played in the opener and then missed 7 games. And so she never really got into that rhythm of playing consistently, and they feel like she's been playing catch-up over the course of the whole season ever since.
I'm sure it feels like catch-up, especially coming in as a freshman. Non-conference is so important to build your confidence and to figure out what does and what doesn't work at the collegiate level. And so you can tell as games have gone on, she's gotten more and more comfortable. But like you said, it's hard, and it's adjustment when you do miss so much.
She's had some flashes. She scored in double figures in 3 games this year. Just been a little inconsistent offensively. Well, chops through to the rim, and she got fouled as well. Very foul-heavy first quarter on both sides.
A lot of fouls, a lot of stoppage this game.
11 combined fouls between the two teams.
Just a good, strong take by Welch. Little scoop. Couldn't finish it, but she did a good job drawing the foul. Just how we were talking about how Arizona has to stay out of foul trouble because of their numbers. Cincinnati's in a similar boat, so both teams have to watch how they're guarding and how aggressive they are on both ends of the court.
Welch, Memphis for 3 years, missed one due to a medical redshirt. Indianapolis native, so she's from Katrina Merriweather's backyard as well. I'm sure that helped in the recruiting pitch when she wanted her to come to Memphis. Now finds her way back playing against Coach Merriweather in the Big 12. Second try is good for Bird.
We're just talking about how Cincinnati can't let go of second chance opportunities. And that time was exactly what they needed, offensive rebound and still being able to finish.
Welch misfires. Tremail grabs the offensive rebound. Too strong with the left hand. Tbilisi steps into a three.
That freshman duo is fun to watch. Crawford and Tbilisi's, you can tell they play a similar style of basketball. Both of them were itching to see who was going to get the ball in transition and score it.
Off the window, Tremail. I think she surprised herself there with that make.
Yeah, her face definitely says she was surprised by the bank, but hey, if the bank's open, it's open.
Maybe getting a little extra luck today with all the family and friends in attendance.
Exactly.
Perry rattles it in from long range.
My goodness, Perry just has such a quick release. She's always moving offensively, so it's already hard to keep an eye on her and continue to guard her. But the way she gets her shot off so quick, it's almost impossible.
It was one of the keys for Becky Burke coming into the game. She said that Arizona needs to make Perry's life hard. That's the first make for Perry today. A foul up top on Tbilisi.
Tremail, little one dribble, pull up, bank is open for her. And here Maya Perry comes off the screen. Like I said, just such a quick release. It's able, even with the defense chasing her, she's still able to get that shot off.
Any other night, I don't think that goes in for Tremail.
I don't think so either. But hey, she is in her hometown. She has her family, her friends, her old team. I mean, it's only right.
A foul trouble brewing for Cincinnati as well. Tbilisi just picked up a ticky-tacky second foul. You talked about it for Arizona, picking and choosing your spots, not being overly aggressive and committing a foul when you don't need to. That was probably one there that Tbilisi would want back.
Yeah, it's definitely one team does not want her to have. Katrina Merriweather said that the Bearcats are so much better when Tbilisi is on the court. She does so much for this team, and she does not need to be on the bench with ticky-tack fouls. That
was her second. Both teams over the limit for the final 35 seconds of this quarter. Jackson has had a great first quarter. Give her 8. Encouraging sign to see Reagan Jackson have a good start today. She has been struggling in Big 12 play this year.
Looks like Arizona's trying to get set and get this last shot.
Here's McGott. 6 seconds on the shot clock. McGott gets bailed out by Ladwig. Her shot off the mark. Welch at the buzzer. Uses the glass. Bank open on a 2.
Capitalize on it.
So the second quarter was the big quarter for West Virginia. They outscored the Wildcats 27-9. So Arizona hoping for different fortunes this time around in Cincinnati. Tremail. That's the underside of the rim there. Good defense inside from Destiny Thomas.
It's like Cincinnati's trying to get set in a specific play right now, maybe trying to get Perry the ball.
Here she is. Guarded by Ladwig, who's getting a lot of minutes here early with the foul troubles and the lack of players available for Arizona.
Right there you could tell Perry wanted Thomas to roll to the basket.
Instead, Crawford has to shoot right before the shot clock winds out, and she ends up committing a foul, chasing her miss.
Ooh, that's another one of those fouls that's just not worth it. You're too far from the basket. It doesn't do anything for the team. Just crashes right into her. That's an easy call for the refs.
I will say I do admire the chase of your own miss, because I feel like that's an art that is lost in recent years.
For sure, I agree. You can tell she knew she missed it, and so she was trying to go after it hard. But again, when you can't risk being in foul trouble, that's when you have to let go.
Especially when Tbilisi's already on the bench with 2. And that's an Arizona turnover. It's out of the reach of Ladwig on the baseline.
You can see a little frustration from Arizona, specifically Welch, as she He's trying to lead this team, again, with people missing and out with injury. So Arizona maybe needs to get a little more settled on offense.
The top 2 scorers out today for the Wildcats, with Purdue, who's been out since the early part of January, and Elani Cornfield, who averages 13 a game. A coach's decision today unavailable.
If I'm an Arizona player and I know our 2 leading scorers are out, I'm thinking everyone has to step up.
That's a great pass up ahead. Welch can't finish it. Jackson lines up the triple. Rebound grab by Thomas. Perry tries. Bird had it, and then it hit off her foot out of bounds.
For Cincinnati, number 4 from the Tbilisi.
More of the same here for Cincinnati, Jillian. They're getting some good looks, missing shots, but they're not finishing on their second chances.
Yeah, not finishing on their second chances is the biggest thing. If you get the offensive rebound, you have to come up with something. And like we just saw, they settled for 2 threes that maybe wasn't the shot that they should have gotten.
Already 5 offensive rebounds for Cincinnati. Only 5 second chance points to go with it. Tbilisi checked back in a moment ago for the Bearcats, so she's out there with 2 fouls. Something to keep in mind.
Katrina Merriweather said she's one of their best off-ball defenders, so it will be very interesting to see how she plays with these 2 fouls, because there's still so much time in this first half. See how she does guard.
Zugapong splashes in the 3.
That's that 3-level scoring Coach Burke was talking about.
Jackson short arms it. Kitchen grabs the rebound. She's back in there with 2 fouls as well.
I feel like everyone's playing with 2 fouls.
Kitchen off the mark from 3. Transfer from Virginia. Redshirted last year with the Cavaliers.
If I'm Cincinnati, you have to get a bucket this possession. I mean, a foul works too, but you still have to capitalize.
Zugapong just picked up a foul after hitting this 3 a moment ago.
Nice little step into 3, knock it down.
That was her first foul. She was clamoring with the officials, saying that Perry is the one pushing off of her, and she's just trying to keep pace with the physicality.
I always think that's hard as a ref. Who initiated contact, who had the illegal contact?
Well, as they always say, whoever retaliates is the one who gets caught.
That's very true.
Carden nearly loses the handle. 2 seconds left. Perry's pass is over the top, out of bounds. But only 0.7 left on the shot clock here for Cincinnati.
I think that's one of those shots that Perry kind of just has to chuck up. Like we've said, Bearcats are good at offensive rebounding. Give the ball an opportunity to come off the rim and your teammates to grab it.
Has to be quick here for Jackson. It was, but it's off the mark. Banjo grabs the rebound.
I'm surprised she was able to get that off.
Very quick release. Zugapong all the way to the cup. Halfway down and out. Surprised that one didn't go down.
Me too. Looked like it went down in the rim and then came right back out.
Tbilisi can't spin it in. Indiba falls near the baseline. Becky Burke is saying it should have been a travel, and instead it leads to 3 for Perry.
Again, those O boards turning into second chance points, not just opportunity, but points. That is exactly what Arizona does not want. Second chance points is what keeps Cincinnati in games and really fuels them and gives them momentum.
Kitchen has it blocked. Jackson leaks up ahead. Everything seems to be tipping Cincinnati's way right now.
An easy transition too for Cincinnati.
Reagan Jackson, the first in double figures today.
Yeah, she definitely has turned it on, and she was ready for this Arizona game.
Banjo can't finish. Perry off the mark.
You need to find her in transition. Arizona cannot leave Perry. She is the person on the court that you always have to know where she is.
Takes it inside this time. Welch wants to run.
Everyone looks a little tired.
I was going to say, it's like the Indy 500 in here right now.
Running up and down. I don't even think 2 Arizona players made it past half court.
Villasy, I think wisely, for everybody's sake, slows it down. Down low, Indiba, working on Tremail. Rebound Bird, it doesn't hit the rim, she gets it up and in time with the shot clock winding down and a chance for three at the line. Three's the old height, with still 4:34 to go in the second quarter. Ramaya Bird at the line for a three-point play, and she caps it off with the made free throw at the end one going into the media timeout. And the Cincinnati lead is 15 over Arizona.
Bird has stepped up really big in that 4 position for the Bearcats with them missing so many key components in that role. Already up to 7 points.
Sugapong for three. It's a little long. Bird grabs the rebound. Down low, Bird, couple of pivots. Great footwork.
Make it 9 for her tonight. You could tell Cincinnati was not trying to settle for a jump shot or an outside shot, and maybe Katrina even said in the huddle, you guys need to get a paint too.
Much needed basket for Arizona. Sugapong knocks it down, leading the way for the Wildcats with 7. Bird has only been in double figures once this year. She gives it up there, and it's an offensive foul. A little late getting rid of the basketball, and Bird is docked with the offensive foul.
Just maybe a little bit too much and leaned too much into her. I don't know. The baseline ref said it was a flop, and then the sideline ref called it.
It's an offensive foul nonetheless. Chase, what's going on in that Arizona huddle after that last media timeout?
Yeah, Coach Burke was pretty fired up, told one of her players to move with a sense of urgency, although she put it in a very explicit way. But, you know, even with 8 players on the bench, they're still trying to get the most out of them. And it was only a 7-point game just a couple of minutes ago, but the snowball effect getting up to 15 now. They got a lot of room to go back right now, Anthony.
And they certainly do. Still plenty of time, and down 15. Thank you, Chase. Now, Coach Burke, who's very competitive, played at Louisville for 3 years. For 4 years, went to 3 NCAA tournaments, went to a national championship final game. Getting on her players a little bit here. Crawford knocks it away up top, and an over-the-head pass to find Jackson up ahead. What a play there for Cincinnati.
That was just strictly toughness, getting on the court. It's not the most comfortable, and it can be a little scary. And here she goes again, on the court, passes up to her teammate, and then coming back down is able to get a hand on the ball. Good hands by Crawford, and you can see diving after the ball, getting on top of it, and Jackson being able to.
And Perry at the block at the other end, going off the defense and the creativity.
Bearcats have been using their hands a lot this segment, a lot of deflections. Oh, speaking of a steal.
Cincinnati does not force a lot of turnovers. As a matter of fact, they are 15th in the Big 12 at moving them up, but they're doing it tonight with high success. Bird and one once again.
Everything seems to be going Cincinnati's way right now. They are really riding with the momentum. Good pass down low by Crawford, and why not give it to Bird? She's got the hot hand right now in the paint.
Now she has a new career high with that bucket. 11 points in this first half.
The Cincinnati bench is filled with smiles. Jackson telling the crowd to get pumped up. If you're Arizona, you got to calm down. You have to be able to get stops and then get buckets on the other end. You can't continue to let this get worse than it already is.
The defense has been the Wildcats' biggest issue this year. 3rd worst opponent points per game. They are the worst ones.
mean, you got to think, if they're already the worst defensive team in the Big 12, how does it affect that they really can't be maybe as aggressive as they want to because they do have such short numbers on the bench?
They're already playing out of banjo on the floor right now with 3 fouls. Just the nature of where Becky Burke and company are at. Perry knocks in the floater. Taking some of the minutes that would usually be going to Nolani Cornfield and Michaela Purdue. As we mentioned the graphic at the beginning of the game about the players who were absent. It doesn't even include Montea Du, who was a regular last year for Arizona, the lone returner, who has not played a minute this year because of an injury she sustained at the end of last year. So one of those first-year going through it seasons for Becky Burke in Tucson this year.
That's always tough when you come to a new school and you're really just trying to build and create the foundation your first year is working out or going the way that you necessarily want it to.
Well, she told us, we asked her, what's the key to building a program? Because she's done it, whether it's been at Buffalo, USC Upstate, when she started the program at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. I mean, she has built programs from nothing. And she said that through the lumps and just accept it for what it is, and then you can start to bring in the talent. But she said you need to keep the fan base engaged. You need to show them your culture, the grittiness, the toughness through the play on the court. Maybe the wins don't come right away, but you at least need to show the foundation that you're building, and then you can build the roster around it from there as you wish.
Right. Arizona, I mean, she's in a great spot. Tucson, Arizona gets great attendance. It's all things that make a recruit want to come. But like you said, you have to continue to draw people in and make people want to be there. And like you said, it might not show up in the win column, but when you have players like Arizona that at least come out and give effort and work hard and bring energy, I think they have a bright future ahead of Arizona with Burke at the reins. She said
she has recruited everywhere she's been. If you can recruit at some of these other stops, you can certainly recruit to Tucson, Arizona, where if you've ever been out there, that is a resort for a campus,
right.
Let me tell you.
Definitely a resort. You talk about how she was at Buffalo. Buffalo gets too much snow in the winter, so I'm sure she will have no issue bringing in recruits.
Yeah, we were joking about that as it's out of the hands of Snyder. It stays at this end. If you can recruit to Buffalo, New York, I feel like it's a pretty easy sell when you have the McHale Center and that nice warm weather. You can probably bring some good talent down there to Tucson.
Probably one of the easier tasks she now has.
Already a pair of 4-stars have put pen to paper for the Wildcats in this next cycle. So a good start for Becky Burke. Focus currently on this season. They hope to cut into the deficit a little bit here. Welch, though, has it blocked by Perry once again.
I think Cincinnati, like I said, is doing a good job of just having their hands everywhere. You see Perry, she keeps in front of the ball, doesn't swat down, but is able to get her hand on the ball.
Adebanjo can't finish it. Snyder down to the ground, and a tie-up is called. It's going to Cincinnati. The Wildcats, Jillian, are only shooting 26% in this first half, 8 of 31 from the floor.
Yeah, it's hard to stay in games when you're shooting only 8 for 31 and maybe not getting all the shots you want to get.
And Cincinnati gets a foul call with .2 on the game clock. Joya Crawford gets some free throws here, and that is the 4th on Adebanjo.
She just drives it, and that's smart. Using the clock, knowing that it's running out, trying to get the ball up. Maybe you make it, maybe you get the foul call. And that is not how Arizona wants to go into the half at all.
Well, it's bad enough you commit the foul with only .2. It's even worse that it's on Adebanjo. So she only has 1 foul left for the remainder of the second half.
1 foul with an extra 20 minutes. It'll be interesting to see how Coach Burke is able to move around these players and figure out this play time.
Now Cincinnati first half, 26-22.
It's not a great sign for Arizona, but 20 minutes to change it and turn it around.
Again, keep in mind, if you're just joining us, no Lonnie Cornfield and Nora Francois tonight, both out due to coach's decision. A good start there for the Wildcats. Achol Magat finishes inside.
A good, easy paint two to start for Arizona is exactly what they need. And maybe just for them to continue to stick to the basics right now and get paint twos.
It's been a quiet night for Kalia DeVillisi, playing with some foul trouble. Misses that one. Kitchen. Bird a rebound. That's her 10th, so give her a double-double tonight. Second of her career.
Double-double already in the first half. It's exciting for Bird.
Got smacks it away. Good defense from Kitchen on the closeout.
Looks like right now Cincinnati's not 100% sure what they're in. Kind of looking a little flustered.
And they end up turning it over. Sugapong takes it right at Jackson, but it's an offensive foul. And she knew it.
That's good on Jackson on being able to get it back for this team. When you do have a turnover, she's still able to sprint down the court and get in front and get that charge called so that it's not an easy 2 points for Arizona.
That's the role that Reagan Jackson had been buying into amidst her offensive struggles in the Big 12. Trina Merriweather talked about how she had embraced more of a defensive role, that energizer for this Cincinnati team. Even if she's not scoring, find other ways to impact. But tonight she's done it at both ends. Another turnover there to open the second half. Good defense inside once again. Welch cannot finish, and she ends up committing a foul afterwards. Trammell gets called for that foul.
Again, that's one of those fouls that you just can't do with your Trammell. If you're Arizona in general, you don't need a foul that far away from the basket.
Here comes Adebanjo back in. She's playing with 4 fouls. Becky Burke did not start her to open this half due to the foul trouble, but they need her. Down 22.
If I'm Cincinnati right now, I am getting Thomas the ball, or I'm just honestly attacking the paint and trying to get another foul, get her 5th foul.
The Arizona foul was charged to number 33 tonight.
That foul there is on Trammell. That is her 3rd. So of note here for Adebanjo, she had 4 fouls going into halftime. It now only lists 3. So somewhere along the way, the referees reviewed something and took a foul away from Adebanjo. So she has a little extra wiggle room here.
Still not much. I wouldn't do too much if I'm her right now, but that's definitely good news for this Arizona team.
And we just caught that with the help of our production crew as well. So 3 fouls for Adebanjo, along with Sugapong and Trammell, who both have 3 as well. That's a crafty finish. Trammell on the other side of the rim. It's off the Kitchen, out of bounds.
Great job by Trammell, but if you also see Adebanjo, she is able to seal off Thomas to not let her potentially step over and get a finger on the ball.
It's been all Arizona so far to open up this second half. Cincinnati is yet to score 2.5 minutes in. DeVillisi throws it to nobody. Bird over there to grab it, leading to the Perry 3.
I'm sure DeVillisi thought one of her teammates was probably crashing while she was driving, but no one was there. Thankfully, Bird was able to recover it and kick it out to Perry for the 3.
Kitchen gets bumped on her drive.
The Bearcats foul was on Destiny Thomas, number 32, her 1st.
Just an easy kick out to Perry.
Team's 1st on the quarter.
I'll say, like I'm sure any coach in the Big 12 will say, you cannot leave Perry wide open on that 3-point line. That is second nature for her to knock down that shot, especially no one really closing out at her, no one in close vicinity to her. That's too easy of a 3 that Arizona just can't be giving up.
That's her 3rd 3 of the night. She's shooting 50% from long range. Came in at 35% from downtown.
And I'm sure as a shooter, once you see one go in, you see a few more fall, the basket just continues to get bigger and bigger.
I know that was never your game when you were a player, but do you kind of wish it were?
Sometimes I do. Like 3s, not me. I think the only time I shot a 3 was at the end of the shot clock. Or if we were up by a lot and I didn't think I was going to get in trouble.
I sense a little bit of jealousy, though, that
Just
others can do it.
Just a touch. Like, I maybe should have worked on the 3 more in the 3rd grade. I don't know.
I think you did well regardless.
Thank you.
Arizona once again taking that.
Well, nobody can get this inbound here. for Arizona. It's been smacked away a couple of times. Cincinnati still not giving up, and they get the turnover. Crawford hangs in the air to lay it in.
Like Katrina Merriweather said, she's just so crafty. It's literally like she's going up against cones while she's out there, and that's what makes her so fun to watch.
And that's a foul on Adebanjo.
This Bearcats team has been so tenacious on defense, being able to come up with that steal, push and transition in a fun layup for Crawford.
Outscoring Arizona today, Jillian, 13-2 in fast break points. They've gotten out and run a lot today.
I don't know, like we said, Arizona looks a little tired at points. Maybe it's the travel, maybe it's the lack of subs, I don't know, but transition is definitely helping Cincinnati keep this lead and continue to push it.
A good help defense there from Tremail, and they force the turnover. Consensa inspired Denia Tremail today, and rightfully so. Kitchen to the cup.
That's an easy straight line drive for Kitchen. Cincinnati had no one in help side to step up and take a charge or help Kitchen to change her shot.
It's the first basket for Kitchen today, and a foul at the other end.
She gets it, head down, straight line drive, able to scoop it in with her right hand. Cincinnati can't give that up. They have to have someone in help side to step over and take that.
Joya Crawford at the free throw line here. After the foul was given to McGott, her second. Crawford 77% at the line this season. Eight points on the night for Joya Crawford. Step back for Sugapong. That's good. Nice looking shot there.
Looks like Arizona was trying to get in some offensive set, but wasn't working out, but it doesn't really need to, and Sugapong can just knock that shot down.
Coach Burke raved about how calm she is with the basketball. Even when there's no play developing, she can create her own shot.
Looks like confusion also on the Cincinnati end.
Cincinnati has had some of these moments at times when nothing is setting up offensively. Jackson cannot finish it. Tremail grabbing her midsection there. I think she took an elbow along the way.
You just see Sugapong being able to create space between her and Crawford, gives her all the space to knock down that shot. And I think that's what she has to continue to do today if Arizona's going to be able to crawl back into this game.
That's going the other way. Tremail now, I think, got one in the face, so she was grabbing her midsection earlier, and then went to grab her eye that time. It all banged around.
Guess not quite the welcome home.
I was going to say. A lukewarm welcome.
Right.
And Sugapong doesn't hit anything on that shot.
If I'm a coach, I don't even know if I can be mad at that shot. She's really the only offense they've had going right now. And so sometimes you got to take it, and do they want to airball? No, but.
That was a big block for Achol McGott. 6'7", one of the tallest players in the Big 12.
If I am Jackson, I am not driving it in to 6'7".
I'd stick with that mid-range.
Right.
That's a touch foul on Perry in the corner. Bunch of offensive rebounds, but it didn't lead to anything inside Jillian. Tonight they're doing a much better job. It felt like earlier in the game they weren't as efficient as they would like, but as the game's gone along, they've been a lot better.
Yes, they've definitely been a lot better on capitalizing on these second points opportunities. Like we've said a million times, second chance opportunities don't mean anything if you're not scoring out of them. And tonight they've done a much better job at finishing at the rim.
Cincinnati, the best offensive rebounding team in the Big 12, but as you said, if you're not finishing, it's a great stat, but it doesn't mean anything if you're not converting in there. They're +3 on the offensive glass today, and they've been doing a much better job inside en route to this 22-point lead over Arizona. Wildcats not going away without a fight. They're outscoring Cincinnati in this third, and they get a little bit closer on the Sugapong three.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Sugapong has to take those tough shots because she is Arizona's only offense right now. So yeah, some of them aren't going to go in, but you have shots like that that go straight through the net.
Sugapong has 12. She's the lone Wildcat in double figures. And McGott comes down hard on Mary Cardin. Draws the foul.
Number 20 has Joel Donato commits a personal foul for Arizona.
You can see Sugapong is trying to get set up in an offense, but you don't need it when your three looks like that, I guess.
Didn't come in as the best three-point shooter, only 31%. We were telling you at the beginning of the game, she has been a heck of a lot better these last couple of months since the calendar turned to 2026, and you're seeing it tonight.
I think when people go out and you get more adjusted to the style of play, you're able to be more comfortable in who you are as a player, and I think she's finally found that comfortability.
It's a player that Becky Burke, I'm sure, wants to build around. She went to UC San Diego's first ever NCAA tournament last year. So Coach Burke said it's a player that knows what it takes to win, knows how to handle herself in calm moments, especially on a night like tonight when they're facing adversity with two key cogs in their lineup out due to coach's decision. She's handled herself well. Tremail blocked, and Deba, fresh into the game, gets her hands on it.
You can tell Arizona right now, especially Tremail right there, they're trying to will the ball into the basket. And Deba just wasn't going to have it tonight.
Deba with a block. We saw McGott get a block before the timeout. Sugapong needs help. A timeout. Arizona. Back San Diego. She was a Big Sky first team selection last year. She was freshman of the year in the Big Sky in 2024. Great defense there from Tanuel Welch on the tie-up. But Sugapong today, 12 points. She's made a couple of threes. An assist, a few rebounds. On a night that Arizona is shorthanded, they've needed everything that Sugapong can give. Tbilisi searching and lobs it out to Bird to avoid the 5-second violation. Pull up, mid-range, Tbilisi, too strong. Rebound tapped around, and Sugapong, who else, comes away with it?
Of course, it's Sugapong who comes up with it.
Kitchen connects.
Good downhill from Kitchen. Being able to get into her pull-up when Cincinnati's kind of shuffled around trying to match up in transition D.
Bird loses the handle.
Cincinnati looks a little discombobulated right now on offense.
Crawford tries to bail him out and rolls it in. As good as Cincinnati has looked tonight, Jillian, they do get into those funks where for 3 or 4 possessions, looks like they don't know what they're doing offensively. There's Tremail for Arizona.
It's hard to tell watching if they're trying to get set in an offense or if they don't know if they're trying to get set in an offense. Instead of everyone just moving around and playing through it, everyone gets a little stagnant. Which makes it easy for the defense to guard.
Well, they went down low to Ndeba here, and now it slows up again. Edge by Tremail, forces Crawford outside. Bird goes back in, tries to step it through, way off the mark, tipped up towards the rim. Bird a rebound, and the cleanup.
I think that's just pure will. Going after the ball that hard, obviously you want to make the first one and you want your teammate to make the next one, but being able to consistently go after the ball until you do come up with it shows a lot of grit from this Bearcat team.
14 points, 12 rebounds for Ramaya Bird, both career highs. Tbilisi splashes it in. 7 points tonight.
I mean, that's so exciting to have 2 career highs and a double-double in the same night. We haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
She had a double-double, Bird did, in the non-conference against Canisius. She had 10 points, 11 rebounds in that game, and has exceeded both tonight. Tbilisi wanted a foul on the release, didn't get it.
She's trying to get it up with the shot clock dwindling down. She just stays persistent in constant pursuit of the ball, and it ends up her getting the bucket.
She's had a fantastic night. We were talking about it before the game, Jillian. There weren't a ton of returners for this Cincinnati team, but when you look up and down the roster, she is right there among the most improved from last season to where she is at now.
Definitely. I feel like she's made a big jump this season, even in her confidence and the way she looks at the basket. It's been very fun to watch to see her growth from
Kylie Torrance being out. Welch all the way to the rim.
Katrina Merriweather looking a little upset about how easy that layup was.
And that's a push-off by Perry.
Third personal.
Ladwig back in. Under a minute remaining here in this third. See if Arizona goes for a 2-for-1 perhaps. Get an extra possession here before this third comes to a close. Long skip, and Kitchen throws it to the living room.
A little frustration out of Arizona. Nothing seemed to be open for them. Cincinnati was guarding them very well on that end of the court, and she was trying to get it to the teammate she thought was open and just couldn't complete the pass.
14th Arizona turnover tonight. 2 seconds separate the shot and game clock here. Perry with a hand in her face. Out into the corner for Bird, but the shot clock expired first. So Arizona will get one look at it here with 1.5 to go in the third.
Cincinnati is full court trying to not give up a last-second shot to lead into the fourth.
Welch doesn't get it.
That in-state rivalry at Baylor, and then another top-ranked matchup later that week.
Well, the last couple of years, the Big 12 has come down to that game between TCU and Baylor. The last few years, they have been battling it out for that regular season championship, so the winner of that game could well determine who comes out on top at the end of the year.
On top of the Big 12. It'll be interesting to watch.
West Virginia still in the mix. Texas Tech has had a great year. They're in the mix as well. Iowa State had that free fall in the middle of conference play when they lost Addie Brown and a few others, but they've picked it up since, so that'll be a good one later tonight against BYU.
That game will be fun to watch, especially coming off of the 5 straight losses and, you know, trying to get that momentum of winning some more games. It'll be a good one.
Welch laid it in for Arizona. Cincinnati can't buy one to open the fourth.
We go back to those second chance opportunities, but coming up empty-handed.
So Cincinnati's lead was 22 after the third. It's down to 18 here. Arizona hoping to mount a comeback. Short-handed tonight, only 8 available players. Multiple in foul trouble. Sugapong has been a bright spot. That one's too long.
If you're Arizona, you still have enough time to come back. You just have to use every possession to the best of your ability and try to come up with as much as you can.
Well, they miss a couple of threes there. Reposition for Snyder down low. Tremail and Snyder get all tangled up, and they exchange some words afterwards.
Definitely getting a little chippy down there in the block. You can see they're just kind of bumping back and forth, got tied up.
Tremail got called for the foul. There's some contact, and then Snyder came up high with the basketball. Fourth on Tremail.
That's not great for Arizona.
And their 2 post players, Adebanjo and Tremail, both with 4. Slip down to Bird. Extra feed down low is knocked away by Ladwig.
Bearcats ball. Cincinnati will get down to the baseline.
Arizona's been doing a lot of hard hedge, kind of trap looking almost on screens, and it's been working for the most part. Right there, they just let the ball get through. When you're sending two people at the ball, you cannot let the ball get through to the man that is closest to the ball.
That's been Tbilissi's spot tonight. That mid-range pull-up. Sugapong drives it, gives it up. Welch got it. I beg your pardon, Tremail.
Great pass by Sugapong. She is going baseline. All defenders' eyes are towards baseline, towards her, and is able to dump it down to her post on the block.
The D from Ladwig, staying right with Crawford. Perry, quick release. Trina Merriweather wants to take some air out of the basketball here, use some clock.
Got their shooter in the corner, and Tbilisi's ready to attack.
She took it right at her. Sugapong just picked up her fourth.
Arizona better be careful. Might be playing with 4-3. But that's just what Tbilisi does. She does such a great job of getting downhill, knowing when to get downhill, when to pull up, when to kick. And that right there is so easy for her. And she's great at drawing the foul. I feel like Cincinnati as a whole does a good job of getting to the free throw line, but Tbilisi's in particular.
Well, she's turned her night around. Started the game only 2 of 7 from the floor. Knocking on the door of double digits. There she is with 10 now. 4 rebounds, couple of assists.
She's definitely a player that kind of fills different categories in the stat sheet, and that's what her team needs from her.
Sugapong knifes inside. Got lost amongst all the traffic in there, and then when we saw her again, she was laying it up and in with a foul.
I'm surprised she was able to get that up. It seemed like there was a lot of hands up and around, but again, she's just been doing a great job for her team tonight, being able to get to the rim, being able to knock down shots, being Arizona's offense right now.
And we saw her come off that screen, and then all of a sudden she was gone.
She was gone, and then she reappeared.
Pulled a Houdini act there. And a 3-point play gives her 15 and counting. Arizona hanging right in it.
Still not going away. This game is very much possible for them to come out with a win.
Outscoring Cincinnati again to start this fourth quarter. Thomas, great footwork down low.
It's been interesting. I've noticed a few times Arizona has sent a double in the paint towards the post, and I feel like Cincinnati's posts don't necessarily get a lot of attention from opposing defenses, so I'm really surprised that Arizona's sending 2.
That's a travel from Horado. Tbilisi falls away. Can't hit it. Good box out from Horado down there. Ladwig can't float it in. Cincinnati wants to push again. Dangerous pass. Horado a little late.
Definitely
Rebounds.
A risky pass right there. Surprised that wasn't stolen.
Welch doesn't get the bounce. And Tbilisi once again slows it down.
I think Cincinnati needs to continue to slow it down, not allowing themselves to blow their own lead and let Arizona get more possessions on offense so they have a chance to come back in this game. The more clock that Cincinnati can eat up, the better for them.
Jackson is going to have to get rid of it. Rebound Thomas, and she is undercut, and that's it for Tremail. She'll get a big ovation on her way out, but she is done with 5:02 to play.
Jackson able to get it up, and Tremail really just trying to box out Thomas, but Thomas is definitely a force down there, and Tremail ends up drawing the foul and having to go to the bench.
A mom and company with a round of applause. She's not going to be happy with it. Tremail, that is, but a nice showing in front of her family and friends. 12 points, 3 rebounds, didn't turn it over. Had to find that balance of aggressiveness and not committing too many fouls, and unfortunately for Tremail, it went the wrong way at the end. Kick out, Perry open.
Perry again, one of those players you just can't leave open. That shot is basically already a make before it even leaves her hand when she is wide open at that three-point line.
Sugapong switches hands and induces the contact. Now Maya Perry doing her best to put this game on ice for Cincinnati. Arizona got it down to 16, but it's back to 21 now after the Perry make at a 20-point margin. Locked up there by Magat. It stays at this end off of Achol Magat, who spent 2 years at Texas Tech, redshirted 1 year in Lubbock.
Arizona essentially is going with 4 guards and 1 center right now. With all their foul trouble, we see Ladwick guarding Bird, who essentially is also a 4 and has a good amount of height on her.
We'll see if that's where Cincinnati goes. Instead, it's Perry. A hard fall for Bird down low. Quickly back to her feet. Good to see. It's on Magat, the foul. Well, to your point, Jillian, they really don't have much of a choice to play the 4 guards.
Right. We've already said that they have limited options on the bench, and now especially with fouls and fouling out, and they don't have a deep bench, and they don't have many options right now.
Now, Becky Burke liking the defense. She told us yesterday when we spoke to her leading up to this game that the defense, when her team is at its best, it starts with the defense. When they flow, when they're switching, when they're following a game plan, she feels that directly translates to this team's offense. And defense didn't look good there on that out-of-bounds play, leading to the Perry 3, but that's when Arizona is at its best. If they can build on that, I think Becky Burke would be happy.
I agree. With Arizona's defense, as a team, if you're able to get stops, it's easier to score in transition and get those runaway layups and points. And Arizona just hasn't been able to really do that this year.
A good position inside for Achol Magat. 3-point play chance here.
See Kitchen just throw it up to her. She's able to get the and one. Two tall posts. We have 6'6" and 6'7", I believe.
Yeah. 2 of the taller players in this conference. Well, Perry today on the verge of another 20-point game. Stays stuck at 17. If she can get there, it would be a 3rd consecutive game with a 20-piece. Ladwig, excellent drive on the baseline.
Great baseline drive by Ladwig. Just being able to take it in and go up strong, regardless of where the defense was.
Molly Ladwig has 4 points today. Set her career high earlier this year when she had 10 against Iowa State. And she's tying her up again. That's the 2nd time on the last few possessions Molly Ladwig has forced a jump ball against Bird.
If you're Bird, you cannot bring the ball down. Guards like Ladwig are able to come in and get their hands on it and end up in a jump ball.
So back to the Wildcats. Hard to count them out yet, but the time is not on their side.
They'd have to go pretty fast to come back into this one.
Or get Cincinnati into some foul trouble.
True.
That's the team's 4th. Stavilisi's 3rd. It's her 1st in the 2nd half after she played in foul trouble for most of the 1st half. Quick inbound to nobody, but Kitchen able to track it down on that inbound. Backdoor cut, Sugapong. Everything but the finish, and a whistle comes in. A late call there, but a call nonetheless.
Sugapong just does not give up. We are seeing her try to will her team back into this game, regardless of how much time is on the clock. She's very much resilient and relentless, and she's kind of like a gnat, not going away.
Sugapong to the line. It's been an excellent bounce-back game for Sumaya Sugapong after only 2 points. 1 of 7 against West Virginia. She gave it up 10 times against the Mountaineers. She makes both free throws there, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists today for the San Diego native.
Cincinnati right here really trying to get this Arizona defense moving and running around.
McCartan grabs the offensive rebound, but Kitchen's a great steal in the corner. And she gives it right back. A lazy pass leads to an easy 2 for Crawford.
A lot of smiles coming from the Cincinnati bench, and even on the court, I guess they're going steal for steal right now.
Inside give, Magat going to the left hand with good success.
Good finish by Magat. Just going one-on-one, 5 versus 5, being able to dribble and really kind of hook it in over Carden.
Arizona, in all likelihood, not going to come back and win this game. Just not enough time, down 17 points. But I imagine, Jillian, if you're Becky Burke, you love the fight here in this second half, having outscored Cincinnati these last couple of quarters.
Yes. Coach Burke talked about how she feels like in Big 12 play, they really have only lost 3 or 4 that they weren't in. Every other game, she felt like they were in a position where they could have won. And again, circumstances of this Arizona team, I think she'd be proud to see how the people that were available today fought and continued to play regardless of foul troubles, injuries, and everything.
It'll be the biggest what if for Arizona, really the whole year when you factor in Purdue's been out for more than a month now. But for this game specifically tonight, if Cornfield were available, if Francois were available, how much different this game would have been?
Yeah, you definitely wondered, like, certain matchups with Cornfield and Francois in the paint, these different matchups, how this game really would have unraveled with both teams at 100.
Well, Reagan Jackson hits a 3 and then gets teed up. Too excessive on the celebration there.
Foul has been assessed on Bearcats guard Reagan Jackson, number 3.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a rule about not being able to shoot at the opponent. That would explain the technical, but great 3 by Jackson.
I think that's one that you can live with,
Right.
but not want to get in the habit of that.
Exactly. Katrina Merriweather did not look too happy as we see her rolling her eyes currently. But again, in this situation, I think you can live with it.
2 free throws on the technical for Sugapong. To wrap up the season for Arizona, they got a big one over the weekend at home against Arizona State. That's a big-time rivalry between the two. And it starts a homestand there with Colorado as well. 3 out of the final 5 in the regular season for the Wildcats are in the McHale Center. A chance to maybe finish the season strong. It did not sound like Cornfield and Francois would be a lengthy absence, but something to keep eyes and ears on as the regular season rounds out. That's another finish inside for Magat. Now for Cincinnati, conversely, road trip coming up to Utah and BYU before a homestand against UCF and TCU, and then they finish at West Virginia. It'll be a quick turnaround at the end of the year. At West Virginia on the Sunday, the regular season finale, and then quickly fly out to Kansas City to start the Big 12 tournament.
I think every team in the Big 12 has that kind of quick turnaround. One last game played, a few days in between, and then head out to Kansas City. And that's probably the best way to do it. You just continue to train yourself to keep going, and maybe that's a mindset of nothing changing and continuing to be in the mindset of playing basketball.
Magat hits a couple of free throws there, and that'll be the last scoring in all likelihood of the night. Now the fight was evident for Arizona in the second half today, but down a few key players, they put themselves behind the 8 ball.